Right, since I've done that video on getting this Ranger back from repair and it's still having a problem, I didn't mention what the problem actually is, and that's because I didn't think anyone would really care. And you know, it's just, well, it's been an ongoing problem that nobody can seem to be able to work it out. But I thought, you know, since there's one or two people asked me what the problem is, and now I've had a couple more messages this morning, private messages, asking me what the actual problem is with this radio. So I thought I'd just make a video. So I'm going to try and run through everything what happens, and I think there's an issue with this tuner as well, to be perfectly honest with you, because I don't think it's behaving in the way that it should do. Now I know it's not the patch leads, because I've had the multimeter and the patch leads, and there's no continuity between the you know, the core and the braid and all that rubbish. So, and also I've left everything as it is, and I've just literally taken this radio out of line and put another radio in line, leaving all the patch leads as they are, literally just plugging it in, and it's not the same issue apart from with this tuner. So I'm not really quite sure what the problem is, but what happens is you can key up, you can have a talk, and all of a sudden the radio will, when you de-key, it'll have a high-pitched squealing sound. It'll say busy, that'll be up there, but it will be drawing about 20 amps on receive, which, as you'll know, if if you're into radio, that's not right. You shouldn't be drawing 20 amps on receive. But also, it will be on a high SWR on receive. That will be right up there when it's on receive, and the power will be up as well. But it's on receive, and to get rid of it, you have to key up and let go, and then it'll go back to normal. So I'm going to see if I can get it to do it. There's also another issue with this, but I don't believe is right. But we'll come to that. I'll tell you what. Just to make it easier, look, we'll put the old light on. That should make it easier for you to see, I hope. Right, so what we'll have to vacate to another channel that's probably free. We'll go to 841. It's probably free, I would have thought. Probably just check. Anyone on this channel this morning? There's bloody chair. It's so cramped in here now. Now I've done this modification to the old shack there. It's so cramped to keep hitting the old door there. But never mind. We'll have to get over that one day. Right. So there's no one on this channel. So right, I'll try and replicate what happens. We'll have to key up, and we'll put it to a reasonable bit of power. We'll do it. We'll say 30 watts just for the sake of it. Lovely job. Right on cue. Now we're on receive, we're not keying up, it's busy. 15 amps. Hear that noise? And it goes by itself. Now I hope that noise weren't too high pitched to not pick up on the old camera. I hope it did. So that's the issue there. And it was on receive, see? And it was showing there was about 10 watts of power coming out as well. But it's on receive, and it was drawing 15 amps on receive with that high-pitched squealing sound. Well, you know, you give me your opinions on what you might think it is, friendly people out there, but I'm not entirely sure. It wouldn't do it when John was looking at it. I mean, John really is the nuts. He knows his stuff. I took it round there and it wouldn't do it for him, which does make you think it's something in my shack. It must be something to do with my antenna, my patch leads, something like that. But no other radios do it. As I said, I've put another radio in exactly the same scenario as this one, and it does not do it. Nothing happens. It just performs as it should do. You know, I had about an hour's chat with some guy in Kent. No worries at all. No problems. Put this radio back in line, and we get the issues. Another issue that what happens that I don't believe is the correct behaviour. I think it's an issue. In fact, actually, I better turn that off because otherwise you can't see the other surroundings there. So we've got this MFJ 945V tuner here. Now, what happens is, if I put it on, I'll have to demonstrate actually because it's going to be a pain otherwise. So at the minute we're on the, oh, what are we on? I think we're on the, what is that? So now we're on the 30 watt scale on this meter, 30 watts, 30 watts being right up at the top there, and that be about 10 watts about there. And as well, as far as I'm aware, we're on, right, so we're on bypass. Are we on bypass? Yes, I'm pretty sure we're on bypass. Yes, we're on bypass now. I forget which way's bypass and which way's tuned sometimes. So we're on bypass, and you would think that the SWR would stay the same. I should tell you what. First of all, we'll do this one. The SWR on 10 watts when we're on bypass, so we're not tuned, is just over 1.5. So that's on 10 watts. So if I key up and I turn up the old power there to 30 watts, the SWR shouldn't go up to an extortional amount, but it does. Look where it goes up to. That's 30 watts, and the SWR is all the way up there. Put it back down to 10, and we go back down to, well, it's higher than what it started with. So that's D key. Now, if I put that in the tune mode and key up again, and we've got 10 watts, and that's just above there. Maybe it could be tuned slightly better, but there you go. But it's actually just, well, the SWR has gone up by itself, which was strange. And we're just below 10 watts, so it does less power on the tune mode. So, the SWR is going down as I turn the power up. Oh, it's gone back up again by itself. Okay, fair enough. Oh, it's gone back down. Oh, back up again. Okay, then we'll just leave it like that. I'm not touching anything, by the way. I'm not touching a thing. It's doing it by itself. Now, I'm just about to turn the power up to 30 watts. The SWR is going all over the place. Oh, 30 watts. So now we're on 30 watts. The same scenario, but the SWR is only at 2. Which is a strange occurrence in my opinion. And then we've got that horrible noise again, and we're drawing 15 amps with the horrible noise, and that's on receive, by the way, friends, and it's gone by itself. Didn't have to get rid of it that time. That went by itself. I'm glad it's doing it for the video, because it wouldn't do it for John, which made me look a bit stupid, because I was going, he's got this problem, man, it's making this noise, it's doing this, it's getting stuck, it's drawing a lot of amps, and he's going, well, it ain't done it for me, I used it and everything. I was like, well, mate, I don't know what to say. But, yeah, so let's put it on bypass mode again, and put it on the 300 watt scale. So we're now on a 300 watt scale, and the maximum output of this radio on FM is 100 watts. So, and it's had a good service, so it should do the 100 watts. But I don't have a dummy load to hand, so we're going to have to just rely on the antenna being okay. So we're on. Well, we've got a little bit of. That's gone now. So we're on bypass, and we're going to do the same little tests, but on a 300 watt scale, and you'll see it's going to be a different scenario altogether. So we're going to be, what are we on now? We're back down to 10 watts, minimum power, so that's a minimum power this radio will do is 10 watts. Well, it should be about 8, but it's 10. So, let's key up, we're on 10 watts, SWR is about 1.2-ish. And we turn the old power up, 30 watts, 50 watts, 100 watts. SWR's gone all the way up to 5, back down to 10. Now, the SWR should and will rise with increase in power, but not that much. It shouldn't rise that much. You know, you lot give me your opinions. Some of you lot out there might, you know, obviously going to probably be, you know, proper into this radio stuff, and probably know your stuff. But, you know, that shouldn't rise that much, and I'm sure you'll agree. You know, with only an increase of about 80 watts, 80-90 watts. Oh no, we're started on 10 watts, so it's an increase of 90 watts. The SWR should not go from 1.2 all the way up to 5. And we're on a place where my antenna SWR on this channel 25 or 2784125 is about 1.2. In fact, this meter reads slightly higher compared to my other meters. My other meters read a 1-to-1 SWR, but every meter is going to be different. They're only a cheap meter. I haven't got any expensive meters to hand at the minute. So that was that. If we put it on tune, so we're now on tune, and I did pre-tune this, so we should be. I might better get it slightly better than that. No, maybe not. Let's try changing that inductance to K, maybe that might help. Whoa, dude. We like a bit of that, don't we? Jesus. Calm down, bloody hell. Right, here we go. So, what have we got? Nope. Well, usually the inductance is L for this band, or K, one or the other. And I can usually get it down to 0, but it ain't working today, but we'll forget about that. So, I'm on now tune. We're going to key up, we're at 10 watts. Watch the meter. Still does the same thing on tune. In fact, we're displaying slightly more power, slightly less SWR, but it's still the same scenario. Now that shouldn't happen, really, should it? I mean, give me your opinions, but that shouldn't happen. You know, maybe it might rise to 1.5 from 1.2 perhaps, but not up to 5. And as far as that goes, with the squeaking sound, I'm not quite sure really what to think. Is it RF coming back? I don't know what it is. It could be RF coming back, I suppose, but why is it coming back? I've tried different microphones. I've now got this microphone wired up, but it's working perfectly well. The problem is the radio works perfectly well. While it's working, it works well. I get very good audio reports from it. There's nothing, no one reports any strange noises, sounds coming over, no dropping signals, no power loss, nothing strange. And on the receive side of things, everything seems fine. As I say, it's been serviced by a very, very, very knowledgeable person, Mr. John. Knows his stuff. Got all the equipment over there. He's got a very good shack, loads of equipment, scopes, meters, everything you can think of. And that combined with his brain and knowledge is, well, priceless. So the radio's been having good service, and there's nothing wrong with it apparently. So why is this happening? So I'm wondering if this tuner is to blame. I have tried the radio without the tuner, just straight into the antenna, and the same problem. So to me, this tuner is not to blame. But why is it doing these erratic readings? You give me the answer. So now I've done this video to explain what my issue is. You tell me what you think. You all wanted to know, so I've told you. What do you reckon is the problem? Any you know, reasonable advice, I'll take it, and if someone gives me some advice to try something, I'll do it and make a video and show you what I've done. So there you go.